Good evening, viewers. I'm 21st Century Cat.
And I'm Mr. Funny.
And you're watching Cat and Funny Review.
You have the grand gift of silence, Watson. It makes you quite invaluable as a companion.
First off, Andy, as is the tradition of these videos, would you like to give the viewers
A brief synopsis.
Yeah, a description, you know, just a summary of the story, without giving too much away.
It was about Sherlock Holmes, a detective from the 19th century. Like, in size. He was taller, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I've always
Where's this
understood Sherlock Holmes to be the taller and Dr. Watson to be the shorter sidekick.
going? Alright.
Don't know what you thought about
Are you
that.
starting already with your criticisms of the film?
No, that's not a criticism. That's just an observation.
I never thought about that, to be honest.
No,
I mean,
but did you notice that?
Traditionally, I've seen, Sherlock Holmes TV shows, films, even saw him on stage once. Yeah, I'd probably say he's been the taller, the larger of the characters. Alright, so it wasn't consistent with that, but to be honest, I don't know what the book says. I don't know whether the book, you know it's based on books and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who writes the books?
You did tell me. Was it
Was it
Enid Blyton?
You'd be
Right,
no good.
Right.
You'd be no good in a general knowledge quiz. You did tell me. Yeah, I told you today, but most people generally know who wrote.
Give me a clue. What was the first name?
Who's that barbarian? Sir Arthur. Basically, Dudley Moore played Arthur back in 1980.
Did he?
Yeah.
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Right. That was rubbish.
Arthur Conan Doyle?
Yeah.
You never told me that earlier.
Anyway, we digress big time. Okay, what did you think of it? Oh, you gave a synopsis. You said it's about a detective. That'll do.
Well, I thought it was alright. I thought it went on a little bit too long.
Right.
There was a lot of it that I didn't understand that only came to light at the end of the film. Where I was thinking, hang on a minute, how did this and this happen? And then he explained it all at the end.
There was a final summary. It's not so much of a spoiler, viewers, but yeah, there's a few things happened. And he said, and they did it by this, and I noticed the chalk on the shirts, and I noticed the...
He certainly noticed a lot of stuff, didn't he? That he didn't mention or didn't let on at the time.
He could have told us at the time. It'd have been less of a mystery.
It was very Poirot-like.
He says, I noticed the chalk on the lapel.
The what?
Chalk.
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 Chalk. Chalk.
Chalk.
Chalk.
Shut up. Shut up.
Chalk.
He noticed the chalk on the lapel, and it was almost like, well, I'd have noticed that if they'd zoomed in on the lapel. But they didn't, did they? So why would I have noticed? And he said, well, I saw the chalk on the lapel, so I knew he was a professor.
The viewers
would
not have known.
I wasn't privy to
the chalk.
As far as I'm concerned, I wasn't privy to the same information.
Yeah. Things that I liked were like the speed of the calculations, the fight scenes.
First point of attack, right ear. 2, throat. 3, cracked ribs. In summary, neutralized.
That's part of a criticism of mine, really.
Is it?
Is that there was that big fight scene. There was the pit, bare-knuckled fight scene where Sherlock Holmes is like fighting against some guy. He's kicking his ass, and what Andy says there is right. He kind of thinks in his head, well, if I hit him to the side, it'll take out his breath. I'll hit him on the jaw, I'll dislocate his jaw, and he does it, and all the rest of it. And that's all very impressive and very stylish. But I don't know much about making films, right? But I believe that in a film, every scene should be moving the story forward. And as far as I'm concerned, as much as I enjoyed it, and maybe that's the point, it was there because it was enjoyable, it was fun to watch. It didn't really. It had boggle to do with the rest of the story, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, when I've watched a bit of that, Sherlock Holmes has just been like a bloke who's not in the best of shape.
He's in his 50s or 60s.
Dr. Watson's been like a foot shorter than him.
Right.
They've been stuck in an office.
Yeah.
Right? And then straight away we watch this and he's out in the pit having a bare knuckle fight.
Kicking some guy's ass.
It's like something out of the Matrix or the Bourne Identity. I thought, well, what am I watching here?
Andy's got a good point, you're right.
Yeah.
But that aside, it's still entertaining.
Oh yeah, it was entertaining. Yeah, definitely.
What did you think about the acting? Robert Downey Jr., how did you find him?
Brilliant. He was brilliant. I couldn't fault his acting. And incidentally, in the face, He did look like a young Sylvester Stallone.
Is that a plus point?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying that.
It's
as
an observation. Yeah.
Yeah, not in the body, because obviously his body was a lot smaller,
Yep.
not as muscular. The other actor, Dr. Watson,
Who played him?
oh, God knows, what's his name? Who did play him?
He's quite a well actor.
Sam someone. No,
Sam?
Sam.
Alright, but did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Should our viewers watch the film?
Look, they can watch the film. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
That's quite generous, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
alright. I'd probably give it an 8. I really enjoyed it. It's worth watching. There's lots of action. Certainly, as Andy said, Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law make a great duo in the film.
They certainly do, yep.
Yeah. And also, I was going to say a good return to form for Guy Ritchie, but I don't think that's really appropriate because this is a very different film, action-packed Hollywood-type movie. He did a good job as well, so I think credit to Guy Ritchie. So overall, Count Funny score, and Andy gives a 7, I give an 8. That makes it a 8 out of 10.
Madam, I need you to remain calm, and trust me, I'm a professional. But beneath this pillow lies the key to my release.
Do it.
Was that recording?
So I don't want to talk to you for nothing. Yes.